What up, my people, and welcome back to Let's Talk Podcast with your boy Dustin Calloway. Yes, I'm back. I'm back again. Like I told y'all before, when I'm feeling it, I'm just gonna drop them. I'm gonna drop these episodes. It's hard to have that information up here that I want to talk about and put it down on paper, and then kind of wait a week just to film it, you know what I'm saying, and just to get it going. So as they come, as I'm feeling it, hey, I'm just gonna drop an episode, you know what I'm saying? So before we get this thing popped off, do me a favor, everyone, please smash that like button. Please subscribe to my channel and turn on that bell notification so that every time I do drop a video, you will be notified. And a like, when you smash that like, it helps with YouTube's algorithm. It helps push my videos out there to the masses so that more people can see my content. So if you could just do that for me, man, I appreciate y'all. Just smash that like button. So I'm back again, solo dolo. We about to get into this thing. And this one might, touch a few souls or whatever. It might touch a few, nerves. It might make a few people upset. It might not. It might hurt you, because the way I, bring my topics into the, into the light, it's always a flip side to everything, right? So I could be talking about something that somebody is doing to somebody, on one end, or I could be talking about, on the flip side of it, you could be that person that is doing the to the other person. So, some people be, probably getting a little salty about it or whatever. It is what it is. You just got to deal with it, because this is the type of stuff that we need to talk about. So let's get into it. So this first thing that I want to pose, that I want to talk about. So I noticed that, when you watch people in relationships, and I see this shit all the time, and I can honestly say that I've been, one of these people before too, that fell into some shit like this. So if you're in a relationship, don't ask a person to start doing shit down the line that they didn't have to do to get you, just to keep you, right? And I'm just being real, because this is the type of shit that a lot of people run into in relationships, man. And I see it all the time. Like a dude to meet a girl, or a girl to meet a dude, and the person that they got up front, and they settled down with, been with this motherfucker for months and years. All of us, and they just been doing their regular do, and then all of a sudden, one day that other person wake up and say, well, I want you to start doing this, and you got to start doing this and that, because I ain't, happy here, and I ain't this, and I ain't that. So you run into somebody like that, right? And or they just start doing shit, or trying to like push shit on you that you ain't never been into, and it's like they keep trying to tempt you with shit like you're a little kid, you know what I'm saying? And what I have to say to those people that do that shit to people in relationships, man, how about this? Why don't you just go fucking date somebody that's into the shit that you into, right? Go date somebody that's into the shit that you into. Like, everybody is not gonna be into what you into, right? So the key is to go find that motherfucker out there that's into the shit that you into. Like, simple shit, right? Smoking and drinking. Everybody not a smoker and a drinker. Everybody don't do that shit, right? So you get in a relationship with somebody, right? They don't smoke, they don't drink, right? But you love everything about them when you first meet them, and they let you know on the surface, hey, this is me, I don't smoke and drink. But you do. So you end up going forward with that motherfucker anyway, knowing good and damn well they told you up front, I ain't no smoker and no drinker. And then all of a sudden you get settled down with that motherfucker, right? You're in a relationship with him, y'all just kicking it, having a good old time all the time, just hanging out, doing y'all beginning of the relationship shit, right? And then eventually you wake up and you realize, like, damn, well, I used to go out all the time. I used to smoke and drink and shit, be out there kicking it all the time. But this person on the other end told you this is not, that wasn't me. They told you that off the rip, right? But you wanted to be settled down with somebody, or in a relationship with somebody so bad that you started basically ignoring what that person was telling you up front, ignoring the fact that one of these days you're gonna get tired of that person who don't smoke and drinks lifestyle, right? And not necessarily saying that everybody is like that. People that don't smoke and drink, like they don't know how to have fun, because that shit ain't true. I think a lot of people just look at them and just say, Oh man, you gotta be born because you don't smoke and you don't drink and shit. Like, how can you have fun? Well, believe it or not, my people, it's people out there, it's people in this world that know how to have fun without doing that shit. They still can enjoy themselves. And then even when you have those people who don't smoke and drink and they get into those settings where people do smoke and drink, you do realize that a lot of those, you know, or us, how about that? Because I don't smoke and drink or whatever. When we in those settings, we don't feel uncomfortable. We don't feel like, oh, I'm out of place because I ain't got some shit in my hand or drink in my hand or I'm not smoking. Like, that shit don't bother me. I still have a good time around smokers and drinkers. Ain't that shit crazy? So that's how a lot of us feel. But on the flip side of things, you'll get into a situation with somebody, right? They telling you that they don't smoke and drink, or they might tell you that. Or you might get the person who say, I don't smoke and drink, I don't go out to clubs and bars and shit, right? I'm about my hustle. I'm about looking for a family. I want to settle down. You know what I'm saying? I want to start a business. I want to get a big ass house. I want to own a few companies. You know, you may get somebody like that and they not into that shit. And they telling you this up front. But guess what? You on the other side, knowing that you ain't about that same type of lifestyle, you settle for it anyway, right? You jump into a relationship with that person anyway. And then you fucking pissed off months later because guess what? Damn, this motherfucker was for real that they wasn't into that shit. Yeah, they wasn't. See, the problem is, man, you have to pay more attention to what the person is saying when you first meet them. Listen to them. Like, just listen. Hear what they saying to you, because everybody's not a fucking pretender. Everybody's not a pretender in this world. Like, a lot of people will tell you everything about them and what they about and what they looking for off the rip. You just got to fucking listen. Now, if you want to be that liar on the other end and not, you know, not tell anything about yourself or, you know, not live your truth, or you want to settle down with somebody who is telling you their truth, you want to keep yours to yourself, that's cool. But get ready to deal with the consequences of that, because whatever you tell that person, that's all they got to go off of, right? So they just thinking, all right, shit, you cool too. All right, so cool. Let's rock out, right? Let's rock out, me and you. But then when your unhappy side start coming out, right, and that person starts seeing it, they like, damn. Well, I thought that I was doing everything that I needed to do to, you know, make you happy, or I thought we was good off the rip, right? Nah. You wasn't good because you settled down with somebody who you knew it was all smiles and giggles in the beginning, but for real, what y'all both was into, they told you, you didn't tell them, and you just went for it anyway. So now you disappointed, man. So honestly, man, with those people, man, look, don't try to get into a relationship with somebody like that, and don't try to force what you into on people. Shit, if you like to go to motherfucking like sex parties and stuff like that, if a person is telling you up front, like, all right, look, I ain't into this, I ain't into that, I don't like a girl that's a hoe, I don't like a dude that's a hoe, I don't like a dude or a chick that's out there in the streets running the streets, ain't into that nasty shit. They telling you that, right? You might as well bubble everything into that box, right, where they telling you, I'm not about that lifestyle. So that don't mean start trying to sprinkle little shit in on them. Like, you know, don't try to sprinkle little shit in on them. Like, if they telling you this off the rip, kind of just go ahead and assume that it includes all that fucked up shit, because that might be some fucked up shit to them, right? So don't try to sprinkle it in, man. And don't agree with them just to get with them. And what I mean by that is, you meet somebody, they get to talking to you about all their dreams and everything that they want to be. And I believe I just said this earlier, but I feel like I'm about to repeat the same thing, but it is what it is. Don't agree with them just to get with them, right? I could say it a little different. What I mean by don't agree with them just to get with them, let's just say when we start talking about religious views, right? If you meet somebody, right, and they tell you, I'm a diehard Christian, and you know you ain't that, right? And they telling you this, and they just talking about church all the damn time. They just church this, church that. We going to church on. I'm going to church on Sunday, or the pastor word was this, and the pastor word was that this Sunday. If you know that that's the type of person that you talking to, y'all just still in that friendship, getting to know each other phase, and you know you ain't about that life. And you know Okay, and you know you old enough to the point where you like, I know exactly what I'm set on in life. How about you just go the other way, man? Just go the other way. Or have a bigger conversation with that person about that. Don't just agree with them and shake your head like, yeah, that's cool, that's cool. Yeah, oh, for real, church was cool like that. No one good and damn well, you got some deeper thoughts in your mind about what they talking to you about, what they believe in. Don't just settle. Don't agree with them just to get with them. Don't. Or even when it comes to politics, man. Believe it or not, some people ain't into politics, man. They not. But if you are, and you deep and you really serious about that shit, about voting and all of that, the presidents and all of that, and if that person ain't, don't just nod and agree with them just to get with them. Like, yeah, man, that's cool. That's crazy. Yeah, the government. Don't. Speak up. That's how you that's how you build for real, a real relationship. Because I'm not saying that, put it like this, I'm not gonna say that 100% of those situations never work out, right? I think the issue is when you get with a motherfucker in a relationship, right? What y'all learn about each other is like right there in the beginning, right? You start learning more about each other, and as time go on, you get about a year, 2 years in, you thinking you know a lot about this person for real, right? But really, you don't know shit about a person if they not coming in real with they real shit, right? You don't know a whole lot about them, especially if you got those people that kind of keep their shit back. We talking about religious views, political views, shits, their sexuality, all that shit. When you keep all that shit hidden, and I'm talking about for years, and then you start springing shit up on somebody, they like, what? We wasn't talking about none of this in the beginning, or in the middle, or a year ago. We wasn't talking about none of this shit. Like, where is all this coming from all of a sudden? This is why the communication breaks down in relationships for real. It's because of that type of shit where it's like a motherfucker done did all this shit to get you thinking like, all right, cool, I think I thought I was doing good. But then you start springing new shit on them. It's like, damn, who is this person? That's how shit starts to break down, man. It starts to break the fuck on down, because it's like now the person on the other end got to sit back and look at it like, damn, now I got to I feel like I got to get to learn this new person now. I got to get to learn, or now I see who you really are. And then another thing about that, when you start asking somebody to do shit for you that they didn't have to do in the beginning to get you, you start doing shit and you start saying shit to them, and you start revealing shit about yourself that really would have been a red flag for that person in the beginning, and they would have been like, it's some shit, it be certain shit too, like little shit that be like, that'll make a person be like, oh, I would have never fucked with you if I would have knew that about you. So what did you do to that person when you start springing a new shit up on them? You steal the options away from them. You stealing their options away from them. Their option to choose whether they want to deal with you or not, because you keeping little shit hidden. You know, and I get it. A lot of people will say, well, you know, you got to get to know a person. They ain't gonna tell you everything off the rip. So what? How many years does it take for them to start revealing certain shit to you about their sexuality? So we sleeping with each other now, right? We having sex. We've been having sex, since 3-4 months after I met you, right? But you wait 2-3 years to tell me about some of this crazy shit that you into? Come on, man. And then all of a sudden, that person's brain is supposed to snap and just jump right into that shit and be like, oh, I'm cool with that. Nah, because it might be a level of what the fuck you into that other person might make them uncomfortable. Like, what? That's what you like? If they would have knew that shit off the rip, or even if, let's just say, shit, y'all already having sex with each other, right? So I don't feel like you should be hiding nothing or holding nothing back, right? If you know what you like, you go for what you like, right? When you in the room, in the moment, you tell a person like, hey, do this to me because this is what I like, right? Or maybe that's just my weird ass. But if a person know off the rip that you like having trains ran on you, right? I'm talking about 2 dudes and a chick. That'll give that man the option to say, what? That's what you like? No, I'm cool. See, I done been there before. I done been in a relationship like that before where some shit like that popped up on me, and I was with this girl for a minute when I found that shit out about her. But see, she did that shit where she just kept little shit hidden about her, right? But I just started seeing shit. Like after a while, I started paying attention. And I was just like looking at her like, man, why would a person do this? Why would a person do that? And it made me start questioning shit. And then that's when I found out the truth about her. She was in them streets. See, the difference is I didn't know her, because we didn't grow up near each other. We didn't have nobody that we really knew. But it took one person, one of my friends, to come home from jail. And one thing led to another. Boom, boom, boom. I'm sitting in the same room with my mans, and one of the dudes, they used to run trains on the girl that I was with. She was actually my girlfriend. He just happened to walk into the room. I didn't know at the time. I just knew him. He was my dude too. But I'm on the phone. She had called me while I was over there visiting my dude as soon as he got home. And I'm talking to my dude, and talking to her on the phone real quick. And then she hears somebody laughing in the background. And it was the dude. So, dude, she was like, oh my God, I know that laugh from anywhere. And I'm like, what? What you talking about? She was like, that's what's the name, ain't it? I'm like, yeah. See, and when she said yeah, when I said yeah, I had already knew something was messed up, because I know him, and I knew how, like I knew him before her. So I know how he get down in these streets. He always do that shit with chicks. Like him, another dude that I know, they always running trains on chicks. So that's what sparked it in my head. I'm like, oh no, you one of them. One thing led to another. Yes, that's who it was. She was one of them, and that's what she was into. But again, she took that option away from me to say whether I wanted to deal with a type of girl like that or not. Like I didn't. But what she saw was, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but she saw this potential in me to be somebody that she could settle down with and go the long run with. But nah, I talked about this before on a previous episode. I say, look, if you in them streets, man, if you a female and you in them streets, and I know it's a double standard for dudes, but if you a female and you in them streets and you out there setting yourself out and you letting every dude in the city run through you, it'll always come back around. It will. It'll always come back around. And I'm not trying to be funny. This ain't no goofy, ha-ha shit. But it will always come back around. And in that situation, it came back around. Ain't it crazy? And look, I'm going to tell you how far away she lived from where I grew up. Man, about 35 miles. That's far if you really think about it. Like, we talking major stretch of highway. It ain't even really no easy route to get to where she grew up. And where I grew up, I was at the house at my dude house who had just got out of jail. I was in my neighborhood at his mama house with him. And dude from her neighborhood that I knew I was cool with, he just happened to be in that house with me in my neighborhood where I live, 35 miles away. So again, women, if you go out there, you set yourself out, that's the game. That's what you might run into. You might run into an issue where a dude that multiple dudes that you done slept with might end up in a barbershop somewhere talking to each other. They might end up at a house party with some dudes talking to each other. Like, we connected out here. It's a small world. But again, that was just my situation, and that's the option that was taken away from me. Like, just, she wasn't real, man. She didn't keep it real up front to let me know who she really was. She kind of saw me as a good opportunity to, I'm going to settle myself down. Now I'm going to leave that life alone, and now I'm about to settle down with him. Nah. You got to tell the truth up front, man. You got to keep it real, man. And that's the bottom line. Don't take nobody's options away from them. And that's the bottom line. Yeah, man. Sorry, man. Moving on. This next topic, this next situation that I want to talk about, this one hit me a little hard. I'm not gonna lie. It hit me real hard. And it hits me hard because this one, it ended with a man losing his life. It ended with a man losing his life. It ended with a father losing his life. It ended with a father fighting for his life. So I'm going to drop this out here right there. Right here. Why should a father have to fight to have a relationship with their child? Listen to those words. Why should a father have to fight to have a relationship with their child? To me, having to fight means there's an opposing force on the other end initiating the fight, right? Right? Somebody else on the other end is making that dad fight, like pushing against him every chance they get and making him fight, right? And this is not to go out there and say that it ain't some fucked up dads out there, like some messed up dads who always on that petty shit, who broke up with their baby mama, broke up with with her, and they whatever happened, they went their separate ways, and she got a new dude now, and he want to be petty, right? Not that dude, but I'm talking about just a dude who baby mama ain't work, the situation, the relationship ain't work out, right? I go my way, you go your way, but my bad, I just burped. The relationship go bad, you go your way, I go my way, and you so bitter about being by yourself because I left you that you make it your mission to make my relationship hard as fuck with my child. That baby mama and that baby daddy situation. The baby daddy paying child support. He there. He ain't trying to argue with you. He ain't mad that you got a new dude, but you mad that he got a new girl, or you just still bitter about the relationship ending and how it went bad. It could be a marriage that went bad and y'all got divorced and y'all just don't get along or whatever. Why should a man have to fight though to have a relationship with a child? Like, why do you have to sit over there on the outskirts with our kid, and every chance you get, you try to make it hard for me to have a relationship with my child? And this ain't me just talking like from like my what's going on with me right now. No, it's not that, because I'm not really, it ain't no real struggle with me right now. I'm in my situation. But I watched a video on Worldstar the other day, right? Of a father going to his baby mama house to go pick up their child. He was there for his pickup time, which was clearly, from what I saw in the video, it was court ordered, and he had a specific time that he had to be there to pick up his son. So he get there to go pick up his son, and the baby mama's standing outside in the front yard playing fucking games, talking about the little dude wasn't home. And he like, damn, you know that this is my time to pick up our son. She's standing out there on her phone playing games, talking about, she was saying some shit about, well, he ain't here, he's somewhere else, and I wanted to see him before he left. I'm like, no, this is my time. And my man was out there trying to explain to her, hey, look, listen, your time with him, to see him before he comes with me, you have all that time before he comes with me, because clearly their son lived with her. So she had all that time up until it was time for him to come pick up their child at, I think it was 3:10. She had all that time to see him, but she let him go somewhere else before his dad come to pick him up. Come on, man. Y'all know this is a fucking game that always happens, man. This is a game that is played every fucking day. Every day. This is what fathers have to go through. So, and it sucks that we have to run to the fucking court system just to get visitation. And then even when we get that visitation, like this father, they still violate the shit. The court telling this woman, this baby mama, these baby mamas, hey, your baby daddy, his time to come pick up y'all kid, it's this time. He get there, their son ain't even there. She done sent them off somewhere. She did that shit on purpose. Sent them off somewhere else. So he like standing there like, what the fuck are you doing? Now he frustrated, and I get it. He frustrated because he like, God damn, it's always something. Like, just honor what the fuck the court said, man. Even if me and you don't get along, the court said this shit to you. So you see how much respect that the motherfucker, like, they just don't respect you at all. Some of them, not all. No respect at all. Court said that I can come get my kid at this time. I show up to get my kid at this time. You still don't give a fuck. And you playing games, right? So he out there arguing with her, right? And this ain't no black and white thing, but this was a white couple. A white couple. So he out there arguing with her. He mad than a motherfucker, and I get it. Because I'm not going through that right now, but I've been there before. Where you like, God damn, what the fuck else do you want me to do? It's like, shit, our kid already lived with you. Can you do a drop off or something? Nope. So it's like, I get where he coming from. I get it. So he's standing out there, he furious. And then who steps up? And this right here is going to take me to another realm. But I ain't even going to finish the story. I'm going to go right into what I need to say next. So who steps up? The stepdaddy, or the boyfriend. He steps up because dude is arguing with his baby mama about their kid. He not dogging her out and saying, I'm going to beat you up. No, he out there telling her, like, I'm going to take you to court. I'm going to take your boyfriend to court. He out there telling him, I'm going to take you to court because you keep violating my time to pick up my kid. Right? So the boyfriend, stepdad, whoever he is, he steps up. He starts trying to jump in between the conversation. Let me tell y'all boyfriends and y'all stepdads something. If it gets to a violating point, I get it. But if the baby daddy is over there and he just trying to have a conversation with his baby mama about their kid, sit your ass the fuck down, man. Sit down. Don't nobody need you hovering in the motherfucking background. He ain't over there trying to fight her. He fucking arguing with her because she playing games with their kid. And the crazy part is, it's like, y'all motherfuckers be so in y'all feelings where y'all be like, you ain't gonna raise your voice at my girlfriend, but you don't even take a second to step back and think like, man, what's she doing to him? Step back and take a second and fucking think like, well, what the fuck, man? Like, he sound like, does he have a valid point in what the fuck he's saying? I done been there before, having a civil conversation, and this is just over the phone. It wasn't no face-to-face. You're having a civil conversation. And I hear the motherfucking the boyfriend in the background when I'm talking about my child. She's only 9. And I hear this in the background. At least I thought I heard that when I'm talking to my baby mama about what I think we should be doing for our child. So I hear this in the background and I'm just thinking to myself like, man, why the fuck are you saying anything anyway? Motherfucker, that's my child. That's our child, bruh. It ain't your kid. Shut your ass up and get the fuck back. This is why boyfriends and baby daddies always getting into it, because they be like, these motherfuckers be so in they love mode where he sound like he talking loud to my baby, to my girlfriend. Shut the fuck up, bruh. If you pay attention for 1 second and think, what are they talking about? Are they talking about relationship shit? If they not talking about relationship shit, take your insecure ass on and sit the fuck on down somewhere. If they talking about some shit where it involves a kid, maybe if you are going to speak up, maybe you should speak up and just say, you know what, look, hey, y'all good, man? What can I do to help mediate this thing? I've been there before where I had to mediate some shit. And guess what? Everything is all good now. I didn't step up when it was my turn to be that stepdad and get beefy with the nigga. I'm like, for what? What am I gonna get beefy with him for? I'm just like, y'all having a valid dispute about what's going on with y'all kid. I don't care how emotional she getting. I don't care how emotional you getting. I get it because y'all got a kid. But I'm not finna jump in between her and say, hey, you wanna fight? You wanna fight because you getting her all sad and emotional over y'all conversation about y'all kid? Come on, man. No, not doing that. And even in my situation, I could have been like, Hey man, tell your boyfriend to shut the fuck up. For what? Nah, you just over there trying to be a superhero. See, what you thought you was gonna get was a girl who had a baby daddy who didn't fuck with their kid. But when you realize that, oh, her baby daddy really do fuck with their kid, because he sent her a text message. Yeah, you see the text message coming through asking about my child, when I'm about to come pick her up, when will she be ready. Now you all insecure because you ain't never really had to deal with me, and you ain't never have to really see messages, or I guess now all of a sudden you paying more attention to what's coming through her phone, and it's probably really because maybe it's something she doing to you, or maybe you kind of suspicious about some shit that she doing to you behind your back. Bruh, that ain't got nothing to do with me. That ain't got shit to do with me. My conversation with her is about my child, right? So step the fuck back, man. All y'all insecure, boyfriends and shit like that, and y'all tough guys, when you want to intervene and come in between a baby mama and a baby daddy having a conversation about their child, step the fuck back. Cut back to my story. Now, so the dad is outside arguing with the baby mama about his pickup time. He frustrated, and he got every right in the world to be frustrated because he's there, and it's like I could tell that this is not the first time that this shit didn't happen. So what boyfriend do? Boyfriend jumps in between. So you got this man, this father, that's on fire because he's fighting, which he shouldn't have to fight to have a relationship with his child, but he's standing there on fire because now he like, fuck, man. Now he arguing with her. Boyfriend comes out, now you coming from this direction. I'm arguing with two motherfuckers at the same time. Now my energy level is up. So the dad turned to the boyfriend like, man, shut the fuck up, man. Flipped on him. Like, shut up, man. Stop fucking talking. Boom, boom, boom. He flipped out on him. And then dude immediately starts threatening the father. Get off my motherfucking porch. Get out of my yard. And he like, look, I'm just here to pick up my kid. Where's my kid? He's like, oh, you ain't gonna get out of my yard? So the dad goes in the house and he comes back outside, I want to say with an AR-15. I mean, the stepdad did. He went in the house, come outside with I want to say it was an AR-15. And the dude standing there like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? Because he mad as fuck at this point. Like, man, what the fuck you gonna do with that? And then the dad stepped up to him like, what the fuck are you gonna do with that? He angry, he in rage mode. Remember we talked about that before? When somebody's in full rage mode, all that rational thinking shit, for real, sometimes it go out the window. Everybody ain't afraid of no gun or none of that shit, for real. Some people be in rage mode, they don't even really see the gun. They just know that I'm in rage mode. So dad goes in rage mode, like, what the fuck you gonna do with that? And he stepped up on dude with the gun. So dude, shot it at his foot. Shot it down at the ground at his own porch. And the dad still didn't back down. He was like, I'll take that shit from you. And he started trying to take the gun from the dude. Stepdad steps back, put two in his chest. Killed him. Killed the dad. He killed that kid's father, man. And guess what? It was other kids in at the house when he did it. And guess who else was out there? The person who was recording the video was the father's new wife. She was in the truck recording it the whole time for her husband's safety. Because she knew this wasn't the first time that this motherfucking baby mama done played games with this dad. This wasn't the first time. So the dad is laying there on the porch dead. And you know what the dude was doing with the gun? He was just standing there. I told y'all, motherfuckers, I told y'all to get out of here, leave my yard. I'm like, all right, look, whatever the law says, okay, I get it, whatever you want to say. But look, when that man jumped up in your face before you went in the house to get that gun, what did you do? What did you do? Nothing. You wasn't tough then. But when you went in the house and came back out with that gun, all of a sudden you tough now. You a tough guy. You just killed the kid's father. So here's my question. If you don't go to jail, boyfriend, if the court say that you were right, you were defending your property, whatever the fuck you did, you think that family, that those kids are going to love you? See, let me put myself in rage mode right now, and I'm going to be the child. I'm the child. That's my father you just killed. If I'm old enough and I'm the child, I'm coming back for you. You killed my dad, man. Do you think I'm about to let you just live out the rest of your days and you're gonna be cool and I'm just gonna look at you and like you was cool, you was right for killing my dad? You think I'm out you? Nah, man. Nah. It don't work like that. I gotta do something to you. You killed my dad. How are the rest of the kids and everybody supposed to look at you? And that baby mama? How you feel? You just got your baby daddy, the father of your child, killed. You got him killed. Because you playing fucking games with the child, man. With y'all kid. So now, you ain't got to worry about it no more. You ain't got to worry about it no more because you got him killed. And now you got to try to explain that shit to your son. And guess what your son gonna probably do? He probably never gonna fuck with you again. Because guess what? Guess what you can't do? That video's online now. And oh, don't let your kid be one of the kids of the Worldstar generation, because I was one of the kids that grew up watching Worldstar, even though I wasn't supposed to. I saw it on Worldstar. You think that shit not gonna be plastered all over the web? It's not gonna be plastered all over the news. It is. And guess what? Your son gonna have one of these. Don't say he won't have one of these, because everyone eventually ends up with one of these or a computer. And he's going to be able to see that video over and fucking over and over of his stepdad killing his dad. All because you want to play fucking games. So I'm going back to the beginning. Why should a father have to fight to have a relationship with their child? You see what that fighting led to? He lost his life. And it ain't no telling. It's probably a lot of videos or a lot of situations like that ain't even been on, that haven't been put on film. You know? Where even if the baby daddy didn't get killed, he got beat up real bad by the new boyfriend. He got stabbed. He got shot and didn't die. And if you got a story like that, drop it down below. I want to hear that story about your nightmare that you didn't have with your baby mama. Or, ladies, I'm not leaving y'all out. This is just a story that I saw. Give me the nightmare that you didn't have with your baby daddy. Give me the nightmare that you didn't have with your baby daddy. Y'all broke up. You move on. You get a child. You get a new man. And that new man step right in. And he start taking care of your child, helping out. Y'all start helping. Start building some shit together. And then all of a sudden, your jealous ass ex-boyfriend or ex-husband come along and he start bullshitting with y'all kid. Because there's stories out there about that too. It's a lot of them. But that shit just messed me up, man. It messed me up. Like, it ain't like I'm not having no meltdown or nothing like that. But it's still fucked up because we lost a life, man. We lost a life behind some stupid ass baby mama, baby daddy drama shit. We lost a fucking life, man. He got killed right there on the front porch. And you know the crazy part? When he shot him, he fell face down, right? So you know what? In the front yard, guess what that kid gonna have to come home and see? If you don't rip that deck up because it was wooden, he gonna have to come home and see his dad's blood stains on that deck every day unless you rip the whole deck out. How was that kid supposed to function in life? How was that kid supposed to go to sleep in the same fucking house with the murderer of his father every day? Because now he don't get to see his dad no more. So he don't get a chance to go around his dad anymore. So now he got to sit in the house and look at that man every day that murdered his dad. So again, look at what happens, man, when we have to fight to have a relationship with our children. You can fucking end up dead. Moment of silence, man, for that man. Yeah, that's gonna wrap this one up, man, because that shit bothering me right now. I ain't even gonna lie, man. Like, it's fucked up, man. And if you want to see the video, man, go to Worldstar. It's on there. And I'll even tell you the name of the video. It says, man tries to pick up his son from his ex's house and gets shot twice by his son's stepfather. Yep. That's the video on Worldstar. It was put up on 11/25/2021. Crazy, man. But yeah, that's going to be a wrap for this episode of Let's Talk Podcast, man. Like, I ain't even going to pretend. Like, I had one more thing that I want to talk about, but I'm not going to pretend that I want to talk about that right now. I'm going to just save it to the next episode. So, look, all the links to all of my social media will be down in the description of the video. Please smash that like button. Please, share my video. Please subscribe to my channel. Please tell everybody about this podcast, because Let's Talk Podcast is here to stay. So until the next time, my people, peace.